Hello guys, Olumayowa Victor Ogunsola again. I'm here today again with another interesting topic in the field of business management. Today I'm going to be talking about business processes, as you can see. So we're going to, in this very short video, try to find out what we mean by business processes. How do we achieve an effective business process? What are the various steps involved in the business process, and what are the types of business processes that we have within our organization? As you all know, I like to write on the whiteboard. So if you come with me on the whiteboard, we're going to practically talk about business processes. Thank you very much. Business processes. When we talk about business processes, we're talking about all activities within an organization that helps the organization with producing goods or rendering services and making profits. We are business students. Let's not forget that it's always about profits. So again, just a quick recap. Business processes are all activities, you can say operational activities. Operational. So business processes are all operational activities within the organization that helps that particular organization to produce goods or render services and yet make profits. That's the definition of a business process. But how do we achieve an effective business process? So I'm going to add the word effective here. Effective. If you've seen my previous videos on YouTube, you would know that I have said that the word effective means doing the right things, as defined by Peter Drucker. Effectiveness is about doing the right things, whereas efficiency is about doing things right. Going back to business process, effective business process must involve the strategic managers. You know the managerial ladder. At the top, we have the strategic managers. Senior, most senior managers. In the middle, we have the tactical managers, middle managers, middle managers, and below we have operational managers, yeah? Operational managers. And I say that an effective business process must involve all these managers, but most importantly, effective business process must involve the strategic managers, because the strategic managers must be involved in the plan. Effective business process must involve planning, must involve measuring, okay? Must involve comparing, and must involve adjust, okay? So strategic managers within any organization, whether it's a profit-making organization or a non-profit making organization, these big guys, strategic managers, must be involved in the planning, measuring, comparing, and adjusting of the organization's business processes. When we talk about planning, questions: who are the customers? How do we satisfy these customers? What quality of product or services do these customers want? At what cost can these customers buy our products? When we talk about measuring, are we satisfying our customers? Measuring could be through feedback from customers. When we talk about comparing, we're talking about benchmarking, looking at the industry and taking best practices and imputing it in our organization. And when we talk about adjusting, feedback gotten from customers, measuring, or from benchmarking, we impute it back into the business process. Thank you. Something that I should add at this point is that when we talk about business process, it involves inputs, yeah, and there's always Pardon me, I like to make my presentations colorful. Transformation. And lastly, output. So when we talk about business processes, it's about the inputs, the transformation, and the outputs. Examples of the input could be labor, this personnel, human resources. It could be capital. It could be resources. Okay? This could be examples of inputs. This is being transformed. It's being transformed here through operational activities. No, why would I do that? Through operational activities. Operational activities. And then you have the output. Okay? And the output here, maybe for, it could be medical. The output here is normally products and services. Let's start with that. Products and services. So again, look at the process. There's always an input. It could be human resources, it could be capital money, it could be resources, machineries, operational activities, goes on, transformation of the input, and then it gives us a product or a service. To give a more practical example, let's say business processes in a university. Yeah. So you have students coming as high school graduates, yeah. They're being transformed in the university. With lectures, practicals, education, and what will be the output? The output would be that they will become graduates, educated personnel. So if you see that, input, exam, business process in a university, they come in as high school graduates, but they've been transformed with all the lectures, assignments, exams, business cases, and they become graduates, educated graduates in the society. Now, the last part of my short lecture on business processes would be that when we talk about business processes, remember I started this by telling you that business processes are activities that helps the organization to achieve its goals and objectives, that is, produce products and render services and make profits. So business processes could be primary processes, yeah. Could be secondary processes, and lastly could be administrative processes. Like I always say, please pardon my writing. I know I've not got the best of the writings. So look at business processes, primary processes, secondary processes, administrative processes. The primary processes are at the very core of the organization. So when we talk about primary processes, these are it's got to do directly with what the organization does. When we talk about primary processes of a university, it is teaching, educating the students. For an organization like KFC, primary processes, it's making of the meals and serving customers. Marketing activities, at the advertisement and all that is primary processes, the core of what that organization does. But when we talk about secondary processes are support activities to the primary processes. Example of secondary processes like human resource activities, recruitment of staff, promotion of staff, training of staff, or financial activities within the organization. These financial activities or human resource activities support the primary processes. And lastly, we have the administrative processes, which is a kind of a process that directs both the primary processes and the secondary processes. So the admin, so it could be like like they want to get a new office, or they want to move the headquarters from one city to the other. That would be an example of administrative processes. Most importantly, what I should say as I round up is that the primary processes, the secondary processes, and the administrative processes of any organization must be singing from the same hymn book. Once the three processes are singing from the same hymn book, the organization is bound to make profits and then be on their way to competitive advantage. I think I've got something to show us on the slide. If you please show the slide. So just for recap, primary activities within the organizations: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales and services. Support activities, secondary processes, would be HR activities, ICT, of course. Can you see that? ICT, can you show that? That is a support activity to the university. Okay, so all these support activities and the main activities, primary processes, must be singing from the same hymn book for that organization to achieve profit and gain competitive advantage. Don't forget, I talked about the input, transformation, and output process as well. Thank you very much. The main last word from me is that all managers within organizations, whether you're an operational manager, tactical manager, or strategic manager, must master their business processes so that the organization can satisfy customers and gain and achieve profits and gain competitive advantage. Thank you very much. You know that I always like to get feedback. So please, if you got feedback for me, you can send us an email at Delta Mango Alpha Yankee Oscar Romeo 4umbrella@gmail.com. That is dmail4you@gmail.com. Thank you very much. You know that I will not go until I talk about my passion for Africa. Africa must develop. So are you an African anywhere in the world? Make sure we are doing something to promote African unity and African development. Thank you very much. I'll see you again with another interesting video in the field of business management. Thank you. Bye.